How you doing? It's Zach Allen. So we're going to do another little insert about this DeWiz golf trainer, right? It's one of these brand new wearables that gives us so much valuable information. And this one is going to mostly do with increasing your distance, right? And specifically increasing the speed of your hands, right? If we get our hand speed to move faster, that club head is going to move faster. But it's important, right? Because I ask a lot of my students this. I say, hey, when should your hands be moving the fastest? And 9 times out of 10, they say at impact, okay? And that's actually not true. That's when the club head is going to be moving the fastest, but not necessarily the hands, right? So you got two separate entities here, and our end goal is to get the club head to peak at impact, right? For a full swing, full throttle shot. So you've got two things going on here, okay? There's two different amounts of work that good players put on the club to hit the ball farther, right? And if you're struggling and you don't feel like you hit the ball far enough, something in these two realms is missing, okay? Number one is called just linear work, which from the top of my backswing, right, wherever that ends up being, I'm moving this club down in a linear fashion. So basically, I'm putting this force on the grip as hard and as fast as I can until I get about to my right thigh, okay? Now from this point on, it starts to turn angular, which just means that the club head actually starts to speed up and my hands actually start to slow down. And this little amazing device, the DeWiz, it actually helps measure both of those. Okay, so let's say, your average 15 handicap probably hits their 7-iron about 140 yards. So that felt near 140. It was 150 yards, okay? So a little farther than probably your average 15 handicap. So my hand speed was 17.1 miles per hour. So they give you this great little avatar on here that you can move to different views, right? Target, face on, but let's look at the face on view. So when I start, obviously my hands are moving 0, and then on my backswing, that's the blue line direction, you see the hand speed slowly start to increase. And that's a pretty good time to reach your peak hand speed at about halfway back, and then it starts to slowly decelerate because I'm getting ready to transition and stop. Now the green is the downswing. You're going to see that slowly start to increase to where my peak hand speed happens right there. 17 miles per hour on that shot, which is probably, if you hit your 7-iron 150, that's probably about where your peak hand speed, and that's probably about the numbers that you're going to get. Normally peak hand speed on tour for your best players is somewhere between 19 to 21 miles per hour. That was 17. Because the thing you want to remember, if your hands go faster, the club head is going to naturally go faster. Okay, now at that green peak, this is where the linear component ends and the angular component starts. So my hands now are starting to decelerate as I get into impact, okay? And remember, in order for something to accelerate, something needs to decelerate. So we decelerate the handle so that the club head can start to really angularly speed up and kick out. So here's the drill, right? It's a great drill. I want you to grab your driver. Here's some video footage too. Rory McIlroy does this drill all the time. It's actually one of his go-tos. Pretty much anytime he gives a lesson, it seems like he kind of describes doing this drill. So him and other tour players really like it. But you grab your driver and split your grip. And what I want you to do first is actually just bend the shaft. So this is a men's stiff shaft driver, but you can see that shaft is bouncing around everywhere, okay? So that helps to get some engagement in my triceps, a little bit of structure here, because I want to make sure when you do this that we're not breaking down and doing it with our arms. So I've got my arms on top of my chest, in front of my chest, split grip here just below the rubber of the grip, here at address, and I'm going to turn back all together, okay? And then I'm going to pump it down, and I'm going to stop. And when you stop, it's very important that you stop right at parallel to the ground. When this happens, you're going to start to feel two things. You're going to start to feel that hand speed accelerate, but then, like I said, we want to get that deceleration to happen also. So I'm using the ground, I'm using my body to do all that. So don't let it droop or drop, my body not support it, something collapse. I'm not doing anything that's out of sync where I'm leaving it back here. The drill really has a lot of uses. Rory uses it not obviously just for power because he's doing pretty good there. He uses it to sync his body and arm swing up on his downswing. What I feel when I do it though, I feel this burst of hand speed. So I'm going hard and then stopping. When I do it, I literally feel like I could almost break this shaft because of that deceleration. And that's when that angular component starts to kick in. It's great training, okay? So if I go back after doing that drill and I try to hit one and I start to feel some of those same sensations, right? We were at 17 miles per hour. Okay, so that was solid, 176 yard, 176.8 yard carry with my 7-iron. That hand speed went up to 19.2, so that's right there at kind of lower tour average hand speed. And I'm looking here on DeWiz, I'm seeing that value is still occurring here. Let me get it to face on, is still occurring right at the right time. You see how that happens right about right thigh, just like that drill there that we're showing you? So I'm getting that peak hand speed there, and then the deceleration starts to kick in to where the club head starts to naturally accelerate. So it's a phenomenal drill. I suggest doing it with the driver so you can really feel the flex in the shaft at the same time, but you really start to feel, A, how to accelerate those hands, and then how to put the brakes on it so it can start to angularly kick out. For those of you that are worried it's going to cause some type of flip, it's not. When you get down to here, my hands are literally already past the ball. So when that angular kicks out, my hands are going to still be slightly ahead of it. I'll still compress it. Okay? But take that drill from Rory. He does it all the time. I guarantee it'll sync you up. It'll speed you up. It'll do many good things for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. When it comes to the golf swing, I've seen and tried it all, but nothing has proven as effective as the concept that I'm about to share with you now. It is the single most powerful piece of golfing advice I have ever come across. In fact, I would go as far as to call it a magic move. Since I don't have time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part web class where I teach you exactly how to put it to use in your game. Nothing held back. I call it my Magic Move Training Series, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link right here. These videos aren't available anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll send you the first lesson right away.